Charlie fixes a small plane in his garage. Sarah gave it to him on his birthday. She is leaving for a conference in London. She invites him again. He says no. Too much work. At CIA HQ, Charlie walks through scanners he designed. He reaches decryption and analysis. A ping hits his screen. It is Inquiline, his secret source. The drop is huge. It could damage the agency. Charlie guesses Istanbul. Inquiline ignores the guess. Charlie tries to crack the files. No luck. He moves the job to a restricted machine. After hours, the code opens. Inside are top-secret orders. A drone strike was disguised as a suicide bombing. 150 die. The authorizer is Chief Moore. He is Charlie's boss. Charlie calls Sarah that night. No answer. He leaves a message. Next morning, Moore takes Charlie to new director O'Brien. There was a terror attack at a London hotel. 4 shooters, 2 hostages killed. Security footage confirms Sarah among the victims. Charlie stares at the screen. He does not cry. He cannot. Outside his house, cameras and press pack the street. Police hold the line. A friend guides him inside. He picks up the body at the airport. He opens her suitcase at home. A small gift waits for him. He breaks down. Charlie returns to work. He challenges Moore and Supervisor Caleb. How did 4 gunmen dodge London's cameras and traffic nets? Moore says they are investigating. He uses the restricted lab and hacks hotel and street feeds. He builds a clean timeline. Then the crew steals a van in the East End. Then they enter by service corridors. They wipe prints and DNA. Then they meet people from Impact Investments, Indonesia. Alarms bring police. To escape, the crew grabs hostages in a conference room. Sarah is taken because she tries to help people run. Charlie runs voice and face analysis. He IDs 4 names: Mishka from Moscow, Lawrence, ex-South African Special Forces, Horst, a mercenary, Gretchen, a former intelligence officer. He looks up. Moore and Caleb do not react. They already knew. They tell Charlie to see a therapist. Next day, Charlie hides a small chip in his badge and passes his own scanners. In his office, he prints classified files and uses a skimmer on the printer path to make a digital copy. That night, he sits in a bar and stares at a jukebox. Morning, he confronts Moore and Caleb with printed proof. He lists dirty missions. A hospital in Syria bombed, an Allied base in Yemen hit, thousands dead. He says he set a dead man's switch. If he does not enter a code every 5 hours, the files go to major outlets. His price for silence is simple: full CIA training, fake passports, cash, a gun, and intel on Sarah's killers. Moore calls it a bluff. Caleb says they cannot risk it. First, find the trigger. Then, an accident can happen during training. Caleb's team studies the breach. A skimmer will not work on secure boxes. A printer is softer. They check footage. Charlie bought a magnetic strip. But how did it enter and leave the building? They sweep Charlie's house. They spot 2 visits to a bar. At the bar, they pull an ABBA CD from the jukebox. The matching slot only plays noise. The disc holds encrypted data. Charlie reaches a CIA training site. Colonel Henderson greets him. On the range, Charlie shoots poorly. He needs to stand close to hit center. On explosives, he is excellent. Fast hands. Clean steps. Henderson is impressed. Identity work starts. Henderson shoves him, barks facts, scrambles his head. Charlie still recites his new bio. Passports get printed. That night, Henderson tells him he is not a killer. Charlie says he wants justice. Henderson hands him a gun and says, "Aim at my chest." Charlie shakes and lowers the weapon. At HQ, analysts finally crack the jukebox disc. The dead man's switch is fake. They inform leadership. They do not know Charlie bugged the paper packet using the chip in his badge. Moore calls Henderson to arrest Charlie. Too late. Charlie slips away. Moore spots the bug and talks into it. "This is treason." Charlie pulls his earpiece and boards a plane. Charlie clears customs and moves toward Paris. His alias pings CIA systems. Moore sends Henderson after him. In Paris, Charlie rents a room near Gretchen's usual restaurant. She appears. He starts tracking her phone. He slips into her apartment when a tenant opens the door. He takes photos of her schedule. He finds a gun in a drawer and pockets it. Her tracker pings. She is coming back. He waits in the stairwell. She climbs. He cannot fire. He flees to the hotel and pretends Sarah is waiting there. He breathes. He looks at the photos again. Hospital visits. He hacks her health file. Severe allergies. Next morning, he buys bags of flowers. He tails Gretchen to the hospital. The doctor leaves the imaging room to fix a computer issue. Charlie enters in a lab coat and locks the door. He seals Gretchen in the machine and feeds pollen into the chamber. She panics. He asks for Horst's location. She cannot speak. He opens the chamber. She shoves him into a desk. They fight across the room. He draws the gun. She flips him, bolts, and runs. He follows into the street. A car hits her. She dies on the road. He forces himself to grab her phone. He dumps the coat. He washes off blood. He buys a bus ticket to Marseille. HQ logs Gretchen's death. O'Brien questions more. He says it looks like one of their own. Charlie drinks hard to drown the guilt. He thinks he sees Sarah on a dance floor. It is a stranger. Henderson walks in. Charlie panics, runs to another bar, and locks himself in a bathroom. No window. He steps out. Henderson sits with him. I tracked you through Gretchen's phone. Charlie shows a timer on his screen and sprints. A bomb explodes in the bathroom. Chaos fills the bar. Henderson loses him. The phone tracker dies. Next morning, Charlie pings in Quillen and rides a cargo plane to Turkey. In an Istanbul restaurant, he texts. A woman blocks him and says, "Check your phone." Outside, she meets him. She is in Quillen. She knows about Sarah. She tells him to hide his hat and pack in a shopping bag. Shop a bit. Then my garage. She drives him to her home. On the way, she talks. 6 years ago, her husband died. He was a CIA asset inside Russian intel. He was the first in Quillen. He taught her. The official story says he fell from a window. She has been running since. She is tired. If Russians come, she will end it herself. They map the players. Horst hires crews for Moore. Lawrence is an arms broker. Mishka travels often and posts everything online. In Mishka's pictures, a woman appears. FaceMatch finds her Instagram. She is in Spain. Caleb orders Eyes on All Four to find Charlie. O'Brien warns Moore to stop Black Ops without her sign-off. Moore smiles and promises support. After the meeting, O'Brien's aide shows Henderson in Spain. She sends her own agent after him. Charlie and Inquiline hack a hotel feed and locate Mishka. Charlie flies to Madrid and checks into the same place. Mishka likes the roof pool that spans 2 towers with glass. Charlie builds a device and hides it in the hotel. In the lobby, Henderson arrives. At the bar, Charlie spots a familiar face. Inquiline runs the face. CIA. She tells him to abort. He continues. On the pool bridge, Charlie confronts Mishka. Tell me where to find Horst, or the pool breaks. Mishka laughs and swims away. Charlie presses a button. Cracks spread across the glass. Mishka sprints for the edge. Too late. The pane bursts. He drops with a wall of water to the street below. Inquiline guides Charlie on cameras. Henderson and the other agent close in. They collide in a laundry room and slam each other into machines. One shoots Henderson. Henderson rips the gun and shoots him back. Charlie hesitates in the doorway. Inquiline says, "Run." He runs. O'Brien gets hotel footage. Caleb's team finds Charlie's encrypted chats. They see Inquiline. They pull the dead assets file and guess the widow took over the handle. That night, Charlie and Inquiline sleep side by side. Not romance, just company. Birds screech at dawn. Cameras show agents moving in. The duo slips into a wall tunnel. A drone buzzes above. They exit into another building and leave the block as teams storm the house. The computer wipes itself. They sprint along the beach. The drone finds their car. Boats join the chase. Gunfire rips metal. The car dies. Inquiline is hit. Charlie slides her to the passenger seat and takes the wheel. He shakes the tail on side streets. He loses them. In a quiet garage, he kisses her forehead. Goodbye. Charlie poses as an arms seller and contacts Lawrence. They set a meet. Charlie buys electronics and flies to Romania. In an empty building, he records his face and splices it into a live feed in Berlin. CIA teams shift to Berlin. Lawrence arrives and hears a phone ring on a chair. Charlie, off-screen, tells him to open a box. Inside are bombs and a photo of Sarah. If he moves, they detonate. Charlie steps in and asks for Horst's port and contact path. Lawrence says Horst works in Russian waters and takes deliveries at a Baltic seaport. No direct calls, only coded messages through his men. Numbers and names sit on his phone. He tosses the phone. Charlie takes it and leaves. An explosion shakes the room. Lawrence is gone. HQ learns Lawrence died in Romania and the Berlin feed was fake. In a Russian hotel, Charlie imagines Sarah and opens her gift. It is a puzzle. He solves it. A sweet message waits inside. It hurts and helps at once. At the port, Charlie sees a suspicious car. He sends a coded ping to Horst's men. A man by the car checks his phone. Charlie tails him to a small boat and snaps photos. He traces the registration to a larger yacht. He studies likely sea routes. At dawn, he approaches the small boat. A blow from behind drops him. He wakes on the yacht. Horst stands over him with the bomb Charlie planted earlier. "You kill from a distance," Horst says. He hands Charlie a gun. "Do it now." Charlie lowers the gun. He cannot shoot. Suddenly, the yacht turns off course. Crew members panic. Charlie smiles. He says the yacht is CIA administered. He wrote the security protocols. He hacked them. They are heading to Finland. Finnish Navy boats arrive. Interpol boards. Horst and his crew are arrested. Later, Director O'Brien holds a press conference. Dirty operators who use CIA resources for illegal missions are arrested. Henderson meets Charlie. He says he is proud. Charlie visits Sarah's grave. Then he goes home, climbs into the small plane, and takes it up. He does not get Sarah back, he gets the truth. Sometimes that is all there is to carry. If you enjoyed this recap, subscribe to Epic Cinematic Recaps for more.